Bitcoin is back above 100K again, and it's very possible that it will continue to move higher and higher and higher and even make a new all-time high in the next coming months. So Bitcoin right now is sitting at about 103,000, and we've had just an amazing ride over the past couple of days, going all the way from about 84K to where it is right now, above 100K. And it's very, very possible that we wind up seeing some more strength. In fact, Bitcoin right now overbought on the daily on RSI, sitting above 70, which means that we're having some strong momentum. And Bitcoin normally stays above this level for some time. Back in November, when it was above 70, it was there for a couple of weeks, going all the way up to the all-time high at about 107K. This is something I think we're going to see that's going to be very similar to that. If we take a look at our Bitcoin options here, we can see on the 30th of May, the expiries are going to be huge. So we go to 30th of May, we have approximately $6.6 billion worth of options expiring on the 30th of May. Massive volatility coming on that day, mostly call options. Okay, we take a look at the max pain price sitting at about 90K. Traders right now are looking kind of bearish towards the end of the month. We look at the large amount sitting here at about $250,000 worth of options at a strike price of 88K. This whole region, these people who have these contracts right now are in a world of hurt, considering if they continue to hold them, because Bitcoin's at 103,000 right now. It's very possible by the end of the month that we get a huge short squeeze off of these options holders as they're forced to sell, or they decide to take a loss and sell. And we can see potentially the Bitcoin price moving up much, much higher. If we take a look at our 27th June options expiry, we can see here it's almost $10 billion worth of options set to expire on the 27th of June. What this looks like is a max pain price of about 90,000, okay? And again, a large number of contracts set to expire at about 85K. Again, there's a significant number of bears sitting here that are thinking the Bitcoin price is going to come back down again in the next 2 months. However, there's also a large amount of call options on the other side, above about $110,000 or so. You have large amounts here. You have huge amounts at about 115,000, and then you have 120,000 here. So there's a large number of bullish traders as well. In addition, if we take a look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, we can see here that there's a large band of liquidity sitting at about 10,400. This is about $100 million worth. If we do go above that level, we could potentially see a short squeeze going all the way up to all-time highs at about 107K. Now, on the other side, the downside here is going to be 93,000. If it goes below 93,000, there's a couple $100 million worth of liquidity sitting at just around this 92, 93K level. And Bitcoin tends to be drawn to these liquidity levels. So it's definitely possible in the near term we can come back down to 93K, and then I think move back up to 107K, new all-time highs. In fact, if we take a look at the Bitcoin spot ETF information here from So Value, we can see the past 3 weeks have been incredibly strong for Bitcoin inflows to these spot ETFs. Not a huge surprise here, considering the market has been very bullish overall the past 3 weeks. And we can see here the net assets went from $94 billion to where they are currently at about $118 billion. This is almost the high that we set back in January, which is about $123 billion. The market overall has gotten way more bullish on Bitcoin. And if we take a look at the Bitcoin monthly returns, we can see here that May is normally a very strong month for Bitcoin. It's normally up about 8 or 9%, and we've already hit that mark, but it's entirely possible that we continue to go higher. There are some days or some years in which May has been strong performance, up 40% or up 50% in 2017, up 52% in 2019. It's very possible that if we have a strong May, that means we're also going to have a strong June as well. This is May is normally a seasonally good time for Bitcoin. Okay, and next I want to talk about the estimated leverage ratio for Bitcoin. So the estimated leverage ratio, taking together all the leverage in the system, we've seen here that this leverage ratio has actually gone down compared to the peak back at about late April. We can see this leverage ratio coming back down again, and I think that's actually very healthy for the market, considering the fact that you have less leverage, you have less margin in the system, and as a result, people are taking less chances, they're gambling less, and that's always a good thing for Bitcoin. What you want to have is long-term holders that buy and ideally don't sell for a couple of years and don't try to load up with margin and leverage themselves into oblivion and then get completely destroyed when the Bitcoin price moves up or down radically. So this is actually very good for the Bitcoin market as a whole. Now, if we go ahead and take a look at our exchange reserves, the number of Bitcoin on exchanges, this continues to plummet and fall and fall and fall even farther. You can see over the past month, it's been pretty significant, okay? There's just not enough Bitcoin on exchanges to currently meet demand. We saw huge inflows from Bitcoin spot ETFs. We're seeing huge inflows from whales who are buying. If you take a look at the BTC balances for whale addresses last active within 24 hours, you can see here that it's actually reached a new all-time high, 300,000 currently. All right, so this is huge. The whales have been accumulating Bitcoin. They've accumulated Bitcoin at a level that we have not seen in some time. They were mostly kind of bearish starting out in April, and then they've accelerated their acquisitions of Bitcoin over the past week. Bitcoin is in a great spot right now. However, don't expect it's just going to go straight up in a straight line. It'll probably come back down again, and then it will most likely head towards a new all-time high. All right, there's a lot to be excited with Bitcoin. Adoption is accelerating, and we will most likely see a new all-time high. I've been holding on to my Bitcoin. I haven't been buying. I haven't been selling. I'm just riding the wave for now, waiting for Bitcoin to move back to all-time highs, which will be soon. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys want to see for your Bitcoin videos, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.